Hello, everybody. Welcome to our show about us. My name is Yasin, and I will be your host. Today, I have the honor to have with me two beautiful ladies, Solaya and Sisi. Did I get your name right?
It's Shalaye.
Sholaye.
Yes.
I'm so sorry about
That's
that.
okay.
So, can you ladies tell me something about yourself?
Well, my name is Shalaya Dorsu, as I said before,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm Nigerian. I've been here for about 14 years in the United States. I'm currently a part-time student, and I work full-time.
And I'm Cici Edet, and I'm Nigerian, and I just graduated from University of Maryland with a communication degree, and I'm 25 years old, and I live here in Maryland.
Fine.
Thank you so much. So, today I have a question for you guys. Do you ladies feel like the men have to take care of all the bills in the house?
Well, in my opinion, I feel like he should take care of majority of it. For example, like if you have your household, he should be able to take care of like the rent, while the woman takes care of all the other expenses, like groceries, utilities, and all the extra stuff. So, yeah.
What about you?
I'm gonna answer that based on experience. Growing up in Nigeria, um, I had friends who had rich fathers, and their moms, stayed at home and took care of the family and the house. And I also had friends who also had parents who the mom was working and the dad was also working. So it's kind of a 50-50 for me. I believe the man should be definitely financially secure, but also the mom should be able to back her up if need be.
Hmm.
So both of you agree that it's like 50-50, but the woman should be able to back the man up. Is
Yes.
that what you're saying? Like,
Not necessarily. Yes and no. I feel like yes, a man in general, they just want to feel like their ego, like they have this ego thing going on with themselves, and they want to feel like they're the head of the household, in charge and everything. And sometimes, as a woman, you should allow them feel that way. Not necessarily like that they are, but it's just like depending on the household. I feel like yes, the man should be responsible for like the major thing, the rent, and the other things that the woman pays for can equal the amount of the rent, but not necessarily saying like, oh, you're in charge of paying this much. So like, for example, like, when I was growing up, my father was, responsible for, the major things, and my mom took care of us with her salary and everything. And she always told us to like make sure like, yes, you're married and the man should be in charge and all that stuff, pay the bills and whatnot. But at the same time, make sure you're saving a little bit, or, put something for backup just in case something tragic happens. Like my father passed away when I was 7 years old, and my mom had to, take over everything and take care of everything. And, some African people, like, their family want to take this, take that from the wife, forgetting that the man has children to take care of. So I just feel like if my mom had not been able to save, or she wasn't working, she wouldn't have been able to take care of us at all. She would have been stuck. So yeah.
that's definitely a big issue, especially in Africa.
Hmm.
It happens a lot of time.
Yeah.
Right.
The man will pass away, and the family will just jump right in and take everything. And most of the time, I'm not saying that about all Africans women, because
Right.
we
Hmm.
are strong. We have strong women and
Exactly.
leaders. But some of us, we have to be honest. Some of us tend to rely on the men who
Hmm.
will just be home, take care of the kids and the house. That we forget that this can happen
Right.
any day, anytime. So it's something that I actually like. That's a very good point. I love that.
Yeah, and to add to what she was saying, when you had told me that was the discussion, I like did my little look up on the internet, and I saw something like that men actually, when the woman is able to support, right, that their mental being and their physical being and everything their health gets better because they don't feel so much pressure to take care of, the family. When you put a man on a pedestal, like he has to fend for the house, so he goes into like survival mode, and he's always working, 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 and that can take a toll on his, health, stroke, whatever comes out of it. So I definitely agree. That's why I said, it's good to have a 50-50 situation where the man doesn't feel like he has to be the one to support the whole house by himself. And like for me personally, of course I don't want a man sitting around, in a house and not doing anything. And of course I still don't want to work myself to provide for everybody in the house. So I definitely think, I would like it to be he's working and I'm working, and also that can prevent a lot of things like a divorce, from one person constantly working too much, so that can definitely balance out, the home.
So you're telling me that it can help like reduce the divorce rate?
It can, if one person doesn't feel like they always have to be out, or and when you're not working so much, you spend a little bit more time at home, and you take care of, you guys are spending more time together, rather than one person always being the one like working maybe long shifts or working two jobs and then barely seeing the family. It can put a strain on definitely the relationship. So yeah, I think a woman should definitely, and also you never know tomorrow. Something can happen, you lose your job, then who's taking care of the family? So it definitely has to go both
But you
ways.
said something that I wanted to talk. I want to come back to it.
Right.
You said that you don't feel like you're not comfortable with the man being at home and you bringing the money in, right?
Right.
But why should society accept the fact that women can sit around the house and not do anything and the man brings the money?
Right.
Because we are always saying that we want to be equal
Right.
to men and all of that. So that should not be accepted also.
Right.
You know?
Hmm.
It
And
shouldn't be
I
accepted.
don't condone. That's why I said I'm not in the house working. I mean, staying around either. I don't support a woman to just. I mean, yes, situations happen. People have kids and they're like, oh, I can't pay for babysitter, or I can't leave my kid with someone else, and they want to be home. And that to me, that's kind of understandable. But at the same time, I don't I don't support you just being home. Like you have to lead an example, be an example for your kids as well. Like you have to go out and also work and show your kids that the same thing that he's doing, I can also do. So I don't, and gender roles have changed so much over time. Like back in the 1920s or something, women used to be the ones cleaning, they used to be the ones cooking and doing all of that. And as we've seen over time, that's changing, because women are now out here, owning businesses. They're out here working, being top leaders, managers at work. So they're out here also hustling and working too. So I don't think anyone, for unless maybe maternity leave or whatever, but you shouldn't. I don't think, and that's my personal opinion. I don't think anyone should be home not supporting the other person. I think it's kind of selfish. You're home doing what? I mean, not doing what? Like you're taking care of kids in the house, but your husband is out there busting his butt. That to me it has to be a balance here. Unless you're sick or you have a disability where you cannot work, But if you're perfectly capable of working, I see no reason why you should be in the house, not doing anything.
Yeah, you said balance, right?
Right.
That's very interesting because I feel like when the women have we have to do double, right?
Right.
Because you have a full-time job. You come back home, if you have kids, you cannot rest. You have to take care of the house and take care of the kids.
Right.
So for it to work and to be balanced,
The husband
the
also
husband also have
Right.
to
help out
Contribute.
around the house.
maybe start on dinner or help the kids do their homework while you take a shower. You try to relax a little bit and come back. Because
Exactly.
some men tend to just come home, they're in front of the TV drinking beer, and then you're gonna see the woman. She's gonna get home. She's gonna start running around. Oh, the kids have to take shower. I have to do this.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I like
I mean,
that.
yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, yes, if you have kids, obviously you're going to want the best for your kids. Maybe the guy is not that great at providing, being there with the kids, providing for them and whatnot. Yes, you might also feel like you were a better parent to the kids versus the father.
Right.
But at the same time, like, I just feel like, I mean,
If it's like that, shouldn't you stay at home? Why should you have to do the double?
well, you have to look at it this way. Like, I mean, it depends on your household and your family and what you both of you agree to when you get married. Like, when you join together, it just depends on what you agree to. So if they both agree, like, one person should stay at home, that's fine. If you both agree, like, one person should, like, you just both have to agree to it, not just one person agreeing to one thing and then the other person just saying, oh, I'm depressed, I don't want to stay at home and all that stuff. So it's just like, all of that is just like crazy to me. I just don't feel like.
Okay, so do you guys, after what we have said, do you guys still hold the same position, or you guys have something else, or you change your mind about what you felt before?
I'm kind of a mixture. I was one-sided before, but now I just feel like it has changed some of my perspective, but I still stand with my
your
but I have a
value.
little bit. I might be flexible a little bit.
She has room.
I have room to be flexible. Yeah, I have wiggle room.
Right. I think because I came in thinking, both ways. Like, I grew up in a family where my mom works, my dad also works. She's a computer engineer, he's an architect. And so they both go,
Hand in hand.
hand in hand. So, and then I also have seen in the past the dad being the, main
Provider.
person, provider, and the mom laying back. And, and I still think it has to be a 50-50 situation for me.
For me, it hasn't changed much for me, because I still feel like if the woman feels like she cannot handle both, have a full-time job and take care of the household, she should be free to stay at home. If she feels like she can do it, she can have a full-time job. Or if the man is willing to help her out at home, why not? They can do both. I think it depends on, like you said, the family, what works best for your family. Let us know what you think under the comments, and follow us on Facebook about us, and you can follow my guest too.
My Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram, TS0LAYE.
And you can follow me on Facebook at Cici Edet, and on Instagram at Viva La Quine.
Thank you so much. Thank you for watching.
C'est la vie.
Yeah, yeah, you are my African queen. Ooh, Lord, ooh, Lord. Just like the sun, light up the earth, you light up my life. The only one I ever see with a smile so bright. And just yesterday, you came around my way. You changed my horse in a way with your astonishing beauty. Oh, you couldn't make a brother sing. No ordinary thing, a supernatural being. And no, you are brighter than the moon, brighter than the star. I love you just the way you are. And you are my African queen, the girl of my dreams. You take me where I've never been. You make my heart go ding-a-ling-a-ling. Oh, you are my African queen, the girl of my dreams. And you remind me of a thing.